Stand up for the victim! It's been 30 years! These were children!
Christ is king!
Trump is president!
And we will march around it! Americans, stand up!
Change and progression. Those were the feelings in the air during the evening of November 18th and 22nd, as local protesters gathered on Bay Road in the corner of Bay and Tittabawassee to voice their opinions and display their passion. Across the United States, the Trump administration has sparked strong reactions, both in support and in opposition. Saginaw, Michigan is no exception, as over the week, 2 major political demonstrations formed due to these national conversations. Fueled by the recent release of information regarding the Epstein files, these events weren't organized by large political parties or groups. They were grassroots efforts planned by the local residents who felt compelled to take action.
Why does Trump use his office to go after people? He's the president! Let's get something done!
Not only did locals gather to voice their concerns within our government, but also to support their community, as members and locals were encouraged to bring non-perishable food items for donation. These donations all go towards helping families in need during this upcoming holiday season. As cars drove by, one could hear honking and cheering as people gave their support. But of course, not everybody felt the same passion shared by these local protesters. And little did these locals know that while striving for change, they would meet resistance at every corner. This resistance first began at the local protest held on November 18th on Bay Road. At first, the protest was ideal, a local gathering striving for peace and change, until multiple members of the opposing political party contacted law enforcement, complaining about the gathering. Local law enforcement then arrived peacefully, kindly letting the protesters know they must restrict their protest to the sidewalk. After a brief conversation with the organizer of these protests, Heidi V., the locals were informed they needed to leave the area altogether. This led to the end of the gathering as locals began to disperse. But even though this display of change may have been foiled, it would not discourage these passionate folk from doing the same the upcoming weekend.
USA! No ICE! No KKK! No fascist USA! No ICE! No KKK! No fascist USA!
As Saturday, November 22nd approached, one could feel progression in the air. On the corner of Bay and Tittabawassee, locals gathered as they have many times before. This time, not only to voice their opinions, but to aid their community with the local food drive. As the protest began, all seemed normal and well. Locals cheered as protesters held up signs while chanting. This continued for nearly 40 minutes. Among the crowd, a wide range of signs could be seen, some demanding for the release of the Epstein files, some demanding rights for women and LGBTQ, along with multiple other topics of concern. Then, all of a sudden, as many were getting ready to leave, including myself, from around the corner came a massive bus blasting music in promotion of Anthony Hudson. The man inside the bus then exited the vehicle and began chanting and screaming at the protesters while making it an obvious point to be heard by the cameras.
Terrorist organization. The Michigan people will not put up with it. Christ is king, baby!
As the local protesters chanted back, standing their ground, the man then continued to yell until retreating back into his vehicle. After making his return to the bus, the man then asked me to record the whole scene again, claiming he was going to recreate it. This shows a clear desire to be heard by the public, and leads one to believe that the goals of these anti-protesters are not so much to spread awareness of their own causes, but to shame the cause others believe in.
Action! Woo! Hey, you ready? I'm gonna double back. I'm gonna do my entrance again.
If you want, go ahead.
Ready? a domestic terrorist organization. These people, pan to them, are not welcome in our country. These are communists. My grandfather fought in Vietnam to end these communists. End it all. My name's Jaden Scott. I'm the founder of the American Crusade, and Michigan will not put up with this. Crisis King.
As the man completed his second display of opposition, one could tell the local protesters had enough of his antics. They then began approaching the man non-violently, causing him to once again retreat to his vehicle, where he continued to scream.
Christ is king! Trump is your president, and we will not surrender! Americans, stand up! Don't let these socialists take over our country! Christ is king, Trump is your president, and God bless America! My name's Jaden Scott. Follow me on Instagram for more.
Don't wipe off that orange Cheeto dust! That's right, get out of here! Fucking bitch!
And then, just as quickly as he had shown up, he was gone. Afterwards, locals began gossiping and discussing what had just happened, before going back to their usual actions. This sparked passion in the protesters, who then continued their protests. But just as one thought this was all over, the van could be seen again, driving down the road, making the same remarks it had before. This example greatly demonstrates the divide within American politics, and how passion can sometimes lead to self-destruction, as was the case with these anti-protesters. Although this display was meant to discourage these locals, it only encouraged them more. These people will not fall nor stray their beliefs when met with opposition, and when the next protest occurs, you can count on seeing every one of them again, displaying passion, motivation, and encouragement to others.